I think that context.
He's got evil eyes, though, and he must.
Yeah, he has got evil. You would not mess with him. Speaking of people with evil eyes, we've got Scot Williams with us.
Thanks.
Who is smooth linking that. Who is
from the bog?
Yeah, and
yeah, don't mention that.
That doesn't help the ice cool image of the glacier mint and hard boiled sweets, Sandy. What's happening with it, Scott? First of all, how good is it?
Do you know what? I'm not just saying it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, like seriously good. It's the director. He's an award-winning editor. He's edited loads of great movies, and this is his first movie. And he's put his heart and soul into it. The producers have allowed him to make his jigsaw. So, for a director to be allowed to make the film he wants to make, is
certainly it's a debutant.
Yeah. And consequently, he cast the cast he wanted. There was no auditions. They were all straight offers, and got in an ensemble. Everyone was happy. There was no egos, and you can tell when you watch the film. But he's also really stylised. He's really into his hard-boiled fiction, hence the title.
Yeah.
It's based on the American crime novels, and it's just about 9 individual criminals. It's set in Southend in Essex. But what I loved about it, as we're in Liverpool, and it's great to be home, by the way, is 4 of the actors were from Liverpool. There's Ian Hart, who's like one of my heroes, Elizabeth Berrington, myself, Phil Barantini, and Adrian Bauer, who's from down the road in Chester. So because of that, we're going to try and do a big premiere up here for charity, for Clare House and the Clapperboard charity. So, but as a movie, it's great. I mean, it's very, very stylised. It's kind of film noir, but kind of modern film noir. Almost, I hate to use the word Tarantino, but it's quite similar.
David's very much placed his stamp on it. Then, I mean, he wrote it. I noticed it wasn't an adaptation. He wrote it,
he directed it, he edited it, and I kind of feel a bit guilty because we weren't sure when it was coming out. So I've been talking about it for a long time because, I thought it was. But the amazing thing is, from a first-time writer, first-time director, it's been picked up by a Hollywood studio, a big I can't say which one, but it's the one with the spinning globe.
So he's optimistic. You're optimistic. Therefore, the producers are optimistic they're going to get a strong release for this.
Well, this is one of the things. What they would ideally like is for people who like the sound of, the movie, and is to kind of influence this Hollywood studio as to what to do with it, because they now own it, and where would you like to see it, why would you like to see it. So if anyone wants to go on its Facebook page or Twitter page and just
talk it up,
just say that, then that will, because these guys are over in Los Angeles, they don't really know.
I mean, what I noticed was that its iconography is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. The gun made of the sweets, the posters that have come out, it seems to have such a strong visual identity, even just off its marketing material. It seems very,
it's a company called Claw, Klor. Originally it was called Crikey Villains, but the Americans don't know the concept of the word crikey, they don't know what it means. So they changed it to hard-boiled sweets, but I always thought sweets was candy in the States. So, but yeah, because they've used that, so each of the character is an individual sweet.
So is it? You mentioned it's Tarantino-esque. Is it non-linear? Do the characters overlap, or?
Yes, they do. It is non-linear, but it's 9 individual criminals all going after the same suitcase full of loot.
It's a heist movie.
It's kind of, there's an old school criminal played by Peter White, and he's old school. He doesn't trust the banks. He goes everywhere with his money, and he's collecting his protection racket money all across the southeast, and all these criminals get wind of it, and they all try and dupe him really, and they're all plotting against each other. So yeah, I mean, it is old-fashioned in that way, but it's got, I can't give the end away, but it's got a fantastic ending. It's but it was a very different role for me, because I took a massive gamble with it, because I played it. David kind of wanted to liken the character to, the man with no name from the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. So very, very still performance, very took a massive risk because I was basically posing for 24 frames a second, and I could have come across as a right idiot, you know. But I trusted him, and he.
Well, I was going to say, it must be good from your point of view to have a director you trust in order to take those sorts of chances.
Well, I think a good director does 80% of the work in the casting suite, you know. And once you've got the right cast, you trust them, and you know, as long as they share your vision and they don't edit out the bits that were important to you, you know.
And it's good that he went, obviously, you said before, he went out and he got each of you individually and
yeah, I mean,
knew who he wanted.
It was funny because I did Backbeat with Ian Hart. Like, it was my first movie 18 years ago, and we're really good mates. And this was originally a short film called A Girl and a Gun, and Ian Hart played my part. But he couldn't play this part because he's over in America doing a series with
he's doing Luck.
With Dustin Hoffman, and Nick Nolte. So I had to phone him up. I said, "Look, mate, I can't take your part without getting your blessing." And he went, "Yeah, go for it."
And he ended up being able to do it as well.
Well, he did a smaller part, you know, that he was available for. It was nice. I got to do a scene with him, which is great.
Well, all told then, what we'll do is we'll get the details on the launch there on this, and I think that to reiterate what Scott said, I mean, I just very quickly, I try to work in producing a film, and so many parts of it are very, very difficult, but a part that is exceptionally difficult is convincing people to put things on in cinemas. And I think if you do want to see this at the moment, you know, it's better than, almost certainly going to be better, more interesting, more engaging than 60-70% of what's in the OD. And I'm saying that having not seen it, but just off the iconography, it's not going to be, I've forgotten what it's called, Friends with Benefits. It's going to be something which is really rather special, and I do think that it deserves to get itself...
television, that than radio.
Yeah, I do think it will do make better television than radio, yes. I do think it needs to get a run, and I do think that, you know, as the public, we can say to distributors that this is what we want, and I think that if we can get after that, then that'll be absolutely fantastic. So we'll put details of that up on the website itself. We were meant to have Christian Walsh coming in, but he's been unable to make it due to his newfound celebrity as caller out of Mark Lawrenson.